We wish upon a star for sequels to these films. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Disney movies that deserve a sequel.
Do you think your days of being a sourpuss are over?
Only time will tell.
Think you know Kingdom Hearts? Click below to sign in with your Google or Facebook account and take the new trivia quiz on WatchMojo.com. It's pretty hard, but get it right and you could win a collectible box from Culturefly, loaded with exclusive toys, accessories, and apparel. Click here or follow the link in the description. For this list, we'll be looking at the Disney and Pixar films whose plots, popularity, and/or characters deserve a continuation. We'll be excluding movies that already have one in the works, such as Zootopia.
You ready to make the world a better place?
Number 10. WALLE. The title character of WALL-E may be a robot of few words, but his love story with Eve is among the most charming in cinema. While sequels to romances are always tricky, seeing the two bots explore parenthood, either through adoption or building a little one of their own, could be a cute follow-up. In addition, the post-apocalyptic world the film is set in, where humanity is now attempting to rebuild civilization, has plenty of potential for more stories as well.
You kids are gonna grow all kinds of plants. Vegetable plants, pizza plants.
Whether this lovable robot pair is striking out on their own, or helping morbidly obese humans, we'd love to spend more time with them. Number 9. Brave. The tale of a Scottish princess who refused to bend to social convention and tradition, Brave is arguably the closest Pixar has come to Disney's formula.
And above all, a princess strives for, well, perfection.
Thankfully, Pixar has a better track record when it comes to sequels, and we don't feel like the story of Merida is done yet.
You changed.
Oh, darling. We both have.
While she manages to reconcile with her mother, another major plot point of the film is her dislike of having to marry for an alliance rather than genuine love. A sequel where she actually finds true love might be nice to see. Of course, we'd be just as happy to see Merida continue to exercise her independence by going on a big adventure.
I will fly, chase the wind, and touch the sky.
Number 8. A Bug's Life. A loose retelling of one of Aesop's fables, and perhaps even Seven Samurai, A Bug's Life follows Flick, a nonconformist ant who gathers a troupe of circus-performing bugs to save his colony from a gang of grasshoppers.
We are the grasshoppers! Where's our food?
The world of the film may be small in scale, but we still feel there are some big possibilities for further adventures from the ants and/or the performers, either through another story inspired by a classic or a wholly original plot. Either way, this unusual bug society merits further exploration. Number 7. Moana. Following the titular heroine on her journey to restore the heart of a goddess and save her people from blight, Moana features many memorable songs and characters, as well as gorgeous scenery.
The line with the sky is the sea. It calls me, and no one knows how far it goes.
But that only left us wanting more. Maui is a standout secondary protagonist, and we could easily see a sequel focused on him.
That's what you're all about, right?
Little girl, I am a hero.
Maybe you were, but now you're just the guy who stole the heart of Te Fiti.
Another possible sequel could follow Moana and her people on their voyages, which they begin at the end of the film.
Never-ending
We can just imagine the kinds of fantastic adventures they're sure to find out on the ocean, or as they discover strange islands. Number 6. The Sword in the Stone.
Well, good, then I think that my magic can do the rest, eh?
This fantasy comedy film is a loose adaptation of the story of King Arthur, and follows a young boy named Wart as he undergoes training with the wizard Merlin, and gaining respect from the knights after pulling the sword from the stone. Though Arthur is supposedly the protagonist, the film focuses heavily on Merlin, so a sequel with greater focus on the king, and perhaps the formation of the Knights of the Round Table, could be one good possibility. That being said, Merlin's magical abilities and pop culture references are entertaining, and an undeniable part of the film's charm, so we wouldn't want to see them disappear entirely.
Yes, back from Bermuda and the 20th century. And believe me, you can have it. One big modern mess. Alakazam!
Number 5. Monsters, Inc.
Oh, I'm feeling good today, Mikey.
A marvelous buddy comedy following two monsters in a world where monsters travel through magic doors to children's bedrooms to capture their screams as fuel, Monsters, Inc. may have gotten a prequel, but its planned sequel never saw the light of day. The original intent for the sequel was that it would have followed Mike and Sully in the real world trying to locate the girl Boo, which would have been fun to see, particularly if they came through around Halloween.
Boo?
Kitty.
Whether a sequel stuck true to this initial idea, or went for an original story, perhaps fleshing out more of the monster's world, we'd love to see Pixar return to these characters. Number 4. Inside Out. Arguably one of Pixar's most inventive films, Inside Out follows the personified emotions of a young girl named Riley, who is thrown for an emotional loop when she's made to move to a new city.
Things couldn't be better. After all, Riley's 11 now. What could happen?
Naturally, this experience shakes up the status quo for the characters in her head. The film primarily follows joy and sadness, so having a greater emphasis on the others would be a welcome change, possibly focusing on Riley's awkward or rebellious teenage years.
Fire!
That's it. Go to your room. Now.
Foot is down. The foot is down.
Another possibility might be introducing new emotions, or focusing on the emotions of a different character entirely.
What's puberty? I don't know. It's probably not important.
Whoa! I have access to the entire curse word library.
Number 3. The Great Mouse Detective. One of Disney's more underrated films, The Great Mouse Detective follows Basil of Baker Street, a mouse detective, and his battle against the scheming Professor Ratigan.
Trouble with the chemistry set, old boy.
Ratigan, no one can have a higher opinion of you than I have. And I think you're a slimy, contemptible sewer rat.
The animal society depicted in the film is one of the more complex and intriguing Disney has depicted, so it'd be great to see more of it. Also, given that Basil is based on Sherlock Holmes, and given that detective's extensive number of stories over the last century and a half, there seems to be no end to the number of possibilities for a sequel.
The thrill of the hunt, eh, Dawson?
Quite.
Number 2. Hocus Pocus. The only live-action film to make our list, Hocus Pocus follows a trio of villainous witches who are accidentally resurrected and seek out children as a source of renewed vitality and youth.
I'm not hungry.
Oh, but we are.
The film's style, humor, and large focus on the villains have made it a cult classic. And while a remake is reportedly in development, and a book sequel was released in July 2018, we'd love to see the sinister Sanderson sisters back on the silver screen.
Why was I cursed with such idiot sisters?
Just lucky, I guess.
Oh man, how come it's always the ugly chicks that stay out late?
The ending leaves the door open for the witches to return, either for another Halloween story or maybe even a crossover holiday movie, a la The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Dost thou comprehend?
Well, you explained it beautifully, Winnie. The way you sort of started out with the adventure part and then you sort of slowly...
Explain what?
Come!
Before we get to our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
What foundation?
My home for all the alley cats of Paris.
I'm 6.5.
Well, I waited this long.
For each other, we'll live on forever. In every beat of my ground, I saw.
Number 1. Ratatouille. Another underrated Pixar gem, Ratatouille follows Remy, a rat who wants to be a chef and succeeds with help from a human. The ending sees Remy and his human friends running a restaurant together.
Thanks, little chef.
Remy is a lovable character, and we'd love to see more of him, as well as the supporting cast, perhaps further exploring the relationship between humans and these intelligent animals.
It's crazy, but it works. We can be the greatest restaurant in Paris, and this rat, this brilliant little chef, can lead us there.
Maybe a plot involving a rival animal restaurant, or the disgraced Chef Skinner training cats to hunt Remy and his family. Whatever dish Pixar served up, we're sure it would be delectable. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.